Before we start, I'd like to ask for justice for Breonna Taylor, and I'd like to ask that the officers that shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times and paralyzed him, I ask that they be held accountable for their actions. And we won't stop until reform and justice is served.
Thank you for sharing that. We'll go to Jake Trotter.
Hey, Myles, did you guys just get done with a team meeting? If so, anything you can share about it? And then have you guys decided anything in regards to practicing today? A lot of NFL teams have said they're not practicing. What about you guys?
We've seen that. We've seen that yesterday with the NBA, also with MLB, and a lot of teams today who have decided not to practice. And we had a meeting not only with the team, but some of the leaders on this team on whether we want to practice. And we stand in solidarity with everyone who's chosen not to go today. But we elected to shorten our practice. We're gonna cut it down about in half to what we're gonna do. Try to fit everything in an hour, and then we're gonna go on the indoor and brainstorm on how we can make change happen in our community. How we can move forward locally as a state, and how us as teams in Cleveland, whether it's the Indians, Cavs, or it's just the Browns, can move this thing forward, move the needle just a little bit, and be the start of something great.
Our next question will go to Mary Kay Cabot.
Myles, can you talk about just even how, maybe kind of hard it will be for you guys to, even though you're only going out there for an hour, will it be hard to be out there keeping your mind on football activity?
It is hard because, it's, seeing stuff like that every day, like, it hurts. I still think about, Captain Dorn's family. I still think about the McAtee family, and the times I've spoken to them, and look forward to speaking to them again. And how their families were affected, and how many threads were cut that day, and whether it was him being an uncle, a father, a lover, a friend, someone who brought joy to the community, or just income to that household. Now you're losing someone who brings in money to keep your family afloat, and you're losing that. And it's the same with Jacob Blake, paralyzed, and he's going to lose his job. And you don't know what's going to happen with that. You don't know if justice is going to be served. And so all that's going through your mind, and we're thinking how we can make a difference here and keep that from happening. And that's kind of why we've abbreviated it, and why we're trying to all sit down in a group and brainstorm how we can keep things like that from happening. What can we do?
Thank you.
Nate Ulrich, we'll go to you.
Hey, Myles, I was just wondering if you guys as a team have, I guess you talked about what you guys had talked about earlier. So have you thought about reaching out to Jacob Blake or anything like that? I know you have earlier with some of the other, cases you mentioned, and just, have you thought about reaching out to his family?
I definitely have thought about reaching out to his family, and it will be something I do in like the coming days, because right now it's looking around the sports world and what people are doing, and just standing in solidarity with them, because we want to have a unified message. And I believe it's our privilege as athletes to go out there and play in front of millions and have this platform. But I believe it's our responsibility as human beings to go out there and do our best for the people around us. And I say do our best, I mean taking care of our community. using our platform to spread awareness, to spread information on our local governments and our local officials. Putting them in the position to make the best decision for themselves and for their families. And so I I look forward to hopefully getting in contact with him. But I mean, there's a lot to be said. There's a lot to be done right now before I can get to that. And that's that's one of the top priorities as it is.
And I know these issues obviously mean a lot to you. I also know you're a big NBA fan. Just what was your reaction last night when the news was coming down that 3 playoff games are going to be postponed because players wanted to, protest this shooting?
I thought it was better late than never. That was a long time coming. If we're really about what we're saying and what we're trying to spread awareness about, then we have to be about it. So those guys have chosen to make a stand. It's kind of similar to when Ali decided not to go into the draft, and they took his boxing license away, and he's away from the sport for 3 years. Guys taking a stand for however long, just showing that this means means the world to them. It's over their career, it's over accolades. This is top priority for people who have the privilege to play and do the things that they love, play the sport that they love. And so I'm glad that they did that. I'm glad they were able to show how much this means to them. And us in Cleveland, it means a whole lot to us. And I could tell just from how long we stood out there as a team and as a leadership council. We stood out there so long. They brought out water, Gatorade, because we were standing just chopping it up, seeing what we can do, how we're going to move forward. What's the plan for today? How we going to get better? Do we want to practice today? And what are we going to do today to make this dialogue continue and make change? Increase its rate of change.
Tom Withers, your line is open.
Well said, Myles. You just answered a bunch of my questions there. I know you're going to brainstorm in a little while, but what ideas do you have that can really move the needle quickly and really make a lasting impact? I know that's kind of a lot at once, but what do you think can be done in the short term here to really make positive change?
Well, I want to speak for the team first. I want to say that this meeting we'll have later is going to be exactly for that reason, how we can really move the needle, how we can really get the ball rolling. And there are a lot of guys in there with good ideas and who are uncomfortable in speaking in front of groups. I know that because I am and I was one of them. I've gotten better with age, and so just getting and talk to them as individuals and on a personal level about how near and dear this is to them. And I know guys have been affected on many different levels, and we look forward to hearing from them on how they feel like this change can be made. But for me personally, I brought forth the idea of a petition for criminalizing hate speech, because I don't believe it should be said on forums, whether it's on social media like Twitter, Instagram, or whatever you have it, on Snapchat, whether people takes a picture of it and send it out, or openly in the streets and marched and paraded. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be allowed, and it shouldn't be accepted in today's day and age. It's wrong in so many ways, and there's so many avoidable events that started with hate speech on social media, whether on Twitter, whether it was from shooters that the many shooters that have shot up schools or shot up churches, who started just with open hate speech and was they had no opposition towards that, towards their ideas and towards their opinions, or towards groups who openly march and parade their ideas up and down streets who are allowed to walk by, police stations and local officials who openly do nothing. Whether they agree with their ideas or not. That shouldn't be okay.
Thank you.
We'll take a question from Scott Petrick.
Hey, Myles, is it difficult? I mean, you talked about how you've been shy in the past and you kind of grown out of that, but is it difficult for you, or do you think even the NBA guys last night to take this public stance when there's going to be criticism and it's not going to go over with everyone?
I mean, we take criticism every day on every action that we make. So this would just be another one, and this one just happens to hit home more than any other. And so I believe that we just have to be unified in our message. I don't want any individual to feel singled out and to get any hate more than anybody else because they have their opinion. All our opinions are shared. That's why we're giving it. That's why we're meeting together, because everybody feels this way, and we all want to have a united voice, so that we can't be drowned out. We want to be heard, and we want to promote change, and we want to get the ball rolling. We want to make change happen.
Thanks.
Thanks, Myles. Know that you need to get ready for practice and be respectful of your time, but if you would like to take a few more questions to continue speaking on these topics, happy to continue going with questions.
Do a couple more.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We'll do two more. We'll go to Jake Trotter.
Myles, it sounds like in the NBA bubble, the players were wanting to see action from the league's owners. Is there anything that you guys have discussed or that you would like to see from Browns ownership at this moment, or steps for them to take in regards to what we've been discussing?
Just their backing behind us. I don't foresee them having or being a opposition or in opposition of what we're doing. But whatever we decide, I hope that they are among the front lines. They speak up just as much as we have. They promote it as much as we do and we have. And so I'm just hoping that they're there with us every step of the way.
And we'll make this our last question from Jeff Shadell.
There's been things like this happen in the past, protests by athletes, and then maybe there's a calm and things, then they end up going back to what's happened. So what is the best thing they can do to make the change you seek permanent?
Best way to make that happen is to be unified. And I feel like most of the time when this has happened, it's been individuals being affected. Individuals, each, a person on each team is feeling some type of way, but the whole team is kind of on edge about what direction they go, what they want to do, and how they feel. But it's different this time. It's kind of it's been a movement, not just a BLM movement. A lot of people are feeling this way. All colors and all walks of life. And I feel like with so many leagues, so many people, standing in solidarity, in every sport and in every profession, I feel like it can't be ignored, and it can no longer be looked down upon. It's just like many others have shared their opinion. Like I said earlier about hate speech, how their opinion can be shouted out to the world and paraded in the streets. Right now we're trying to do the same thing, and so I'm hoping that with our initiative to get people to vote, not only for the president, that we only have so much say in that. You can give your vote, and that's one person who looks over us, but you have the Senate, you have your governor, you have your mayor, you have your local officials, you have your police chief. You have so many people who you can really put in place to look over your families and those around you. That's part of our power, and that's the part of democracy that we need to take advantage of. And we need to be more aware of who we're putting in power. We need to be have a little bit more power in who we give that authority to. Like those police chiefs, we need to know who comes into our county, our state, our town, and know what they've done. A cop or a police chief shouldn't just be able to slide from one county to another, one state to another, and be openly accepted in if he's committed a heinous crime. There's no way he should be able to have shot someone or gotten off easy with a crime and been able to get another job. And so we should be more aware of that. We should be providing more information about that, and we should have more control over things like that in our community.